Helps if you turn the camera on. Good morning, everybody. I'm here. I'm streaming. You can see I don't even have the lights on yet. Nothing's ready. But I figured I would just get on camera because what I'm going to do this morning is spend a little time tweaking up my stream. So there's a number of things that you can do, especially on Twitch specifically, to interact with your audience and to do stuff on screen and to hide pimples on your forehead and whatever. And so I'm going to be playing around with that a little bit today, get some things set up, get some things rolling. Alexa, start the office nonsense. We'll get those lights on. Maybe not at all. Alexa, start the office nonsense. There we go. Let there be light, right? Okay, so what we're going to do today is mess around a little bit with some camera stuff first. So I have a tool. I don't know the best way to do this. Maybe share my screen. I don't know. Well, let's figure this out. Let's do a present my screen. We'll just do it like yeah, we'll do that. And then we're going to get the infinite view, and we'll move that up here to get it out of the way so it's not infinite view. And then what we want to focus on is this tool. This is called Streamlabs open broadcast software, Streamlabs OBS. And what I want to do is use some of the things, like I have set up many things in this before, but what I want to do is get to a point where I have a lovely Stream Deck sitting here in front of me. And what I'd like to be able to do is use that to modify a lot of the stuff on my screen. So what we're going to do first is, I believe there is is it under output? No. Virtual webcam. This is what I want. So inside this tool, there's something called virtual webcam. And what virtual webcam allows me to do is basically use the output of this device. And if you hear anything weird with audio or whatever, please let me know. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Stephanie. Welcome. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this virtual webcam. This is just a piece of software that kind of runs in the background. But what it does is it creates a new camera for you that is selectable with all of the applications that you run on your computer. So now that virtual webcam is running, and I haven't changed anything about it yet. I also want to man, that camera just keeps blinking like that. I don't know why that happens. Anyway, we'll figure it out. So what I want to do is have a couple of views. So what we're going to do in this tool, this is called Streamlabs, but there's also just a piece of software called OBS, which also works very nicely. The reason that I like this one is because it gives you the ability to use Control-Z, something that let's see if we mute this, if we get rid of the crackling. Maybe that helps, Kevin. I need a full camera view of just me, right? We're gonna need that for something. So let's start with creating a new scene, and we're gonna call this full main. We'll just call it main camera. So I have this new scene. Now you can see everything went blank here. That's fine. So inside my main camera view, I need to add some sources. And so in my source, I'm going to say I want a video, camera, general. I want video capture device. We're going to add our source, and it already knows that's this one. So we're going to say that's the camera we want. So we want to add that. Okay, so now we have a full view version of just this camera. That seems pretty good. Kevin, is the crackling still there? I'm just curious. Goodness, that like it's just getting worse and worse. I was in the bathroom today trying to take care of this. That's just going to live on. It's still there. Okay. We're going to live with it for a little while, and hopefully we'll solve it. I also see that this is running. Let's get rid of that for now. Is there anything else that would capture my audio that might be weird? So one of the things I could do is turn on. Well, let's add to this. Add to our source an audio input device. Audio input capture. And we're going to say we want the Rodecaster Pro. This is a soundboard that I have here that does all of my audio. So we're going to add that, and we should. Why don't we see anything? Why is there no audio? Okay, so we're going to get rid of this. Let's remove. Okay, and let's say we're going to add a new audio input capture. We're just going to add source, and then we're going to say add a new source instead. And we're going to say soundboard. We're just going to be very generic about this. Add source. Okay, well, where is that actually? And so I'm going to say the device is the Rodecaster Pro. Yeah, that's the board and not the mic. Okay, and I can see my audio is working now, and it's awfully loud. So let's turn that down a little bit. So when I'm talking, it jumps into the yellows. You can see the yellow marks here. Like you want your highest pops to come into the yellow. So that seems pretty good. Okay, so I have my soundboard. Now what I'm going to do is come over to StreamYard, and I'm actually going to mute myself. No, can I do that? No, I can't do that. Maybe I don't want audio here. And let audio just get handled by StreamYard directly. I don't know the answer. We're going to mute that for now, and we're going to remove it from the scene. Okay, so let's remove it. We have it if we need it later. I do hear the crackliness on my side too. Okay, so I have one scene. So the other thing that I want to do is stream back. It's nice. Yeah, let's do some updates. I haven't used this in a little bit. So we're going to get this updated. Next, accept, next, do all the things. Come on, go. I know you want to do it. There we go. Okay, we're installing the update for Stream Deck, and I can see that my deck now is off. Okay, great. And now it's back. If you guys haven't seen the interface for this, it's kind of nice. So I have a couple of Stream Decks. I think, yeah, I have a couple of Stream Decks. The one we're working on is the XL. Everything that I have here is garbage. So what we're going to do is delete and delete and delete and delete, because we can always, these are really easy to add back. Delete, 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 and delete. Okay. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to have a tie into Stream Deck that is a Streamlabs desktop. This is what I want a new scene. So I'm going to take this scene, I'm going to drop it on here. I'm going to call this main cam. Okay. That's perfect. We can always change icons and stuff. We can do that later. This is a full color LED button. So I could even take like a, here, let's do this. Well, let's see. Create new icon. No, that's not what I wanted. I want to choose an icon. So I've done some other stuff with this before, but I wonder if I took a screenshot. Here, let's see if I can get a nice screenshot of me. I have to remember how to do this. I don't use Windows frequently enough to remember all this. This is snipping tool. Try snip and sketch. Fine. Windows logo key Shift S to snip on your. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do a new one. Oh my goodness, get this out of my way. Okay, so this needs to go away. And then I say a new one, and let's see if we. Oh, it's gonna do that while I gotta like get this ready first. So I'm going to be in the backdrop, and I'm going to look right at the camera, and I'm going to smile. Okay, so I have that. Now I'm going to do like a screenshot of that. That's kind of squarish. That's square-ish. And I've now captured that image. So now I should be able to say save. And let's put this someplace useful. Where's a good place to put this? Documents. Documents sounds good. And we don't have a Stream Deck folder, so let's create a new Stream Deck folder. And in there, we will say main cam. Okay, so I have that dumb picture of me. So now, here we should be able to say set from file, and I should be able to go to Documents, Stream Deck, main cam, and now that is actually showing me the camera angle that I'll be using when I push that. So I can actually see it right here on my button. I know that that's my main cam. Now, what's cool about this is that we're going to do another one of these. I can probably get rid of a lot of these. Remove. No, I don't want to remove main camera. I want to remove this one. Oh, we have a trash can. That's even better. I do hear the crackliness, though. I don't love it. Okay, so I don't want to delete everything because I've got like a lot of nice icons and stuff in here. But anyway, so now we have main camera. Now we need another one. So let's create a new. We'll call this office cam. And this office camera is going to get a source, and it's going to be a video. So confusing. Why doesn't that show? Video capture device. There we go. And we want this to be this guy. Or none of these. Okay, we'll add a new source instead because I'm pretty sure that camera is on and working. We'll see. So we're going to call this office. The one that I want here is this. Yeah, cool. Okay, so close, and then we can take this and make this full screen-ish. So you can see I'm over here. I have like a full crazy cam of my office. And we'll do, that's good enough. It just gives you a different view of my ridiculous room that I work in. Okay, so that is now office camera. Again, no microphone on this one. We've got that. So now let's come back here and let's do another screenshot. Snipping. No, it wasn't snipping. Snipping is what it tells me to open Snip and Sketch, and I can never remember what that one is. Okay, Snip and Sketch. Let's do another like nice pose, like that. Okay, and so we're gonna do, and then we can take this angle and get ourselves a nice little square, and save that as office cam. And then this one here will be, nope, I just want another scene. Our new icon for this one is going to be office cam. So cool. And now what's super cool about this is that I can do this. So just by hitting the board, I can, what? That did not do what I wanted it to do. Let's see what I did wrong. And I closed it. Stream Deck. This is supposed to go to, oh, I see what I did. This needs to go to main camera, and this needs to go to office camera. And for some reason, it forgot everything that I told it. So this is main cam, and my icon for this is where you save things, is that. Okay. So now when I do this, I should be able to flip between this and this and this and this and this and this. And so now I have hardware buttons right here in front of me that allow me to change that camera. So this is where it gets interesting. Let's go back to not sharing my screen for a second. So now we have this camera, right? This is the camera that is feeding in directly from StreamYard. So StreamYard asks me what camera I want, and I tell it to use the main camera, and it goes. But we can change this to choose the virtual camera. Is virtual camera on? And I'm back. So it looks like I broke a few things. That wasn't exactly what I was going for, but I still also don't have the camera that I want to use. I was hoping that I was going to be able to do that. Okay, so I have the buttons, and they work, but I don't have the ability to select that somehow in StreamYard, which is what I'm broadcasting to all of you on. I've got some work to do. I have to think about some things because a long time ago, not that long ago, but a long time ago, I used to do a lot of streaming. Thanks, Hackbrew. Yeah, when I switched cameras, everything went away for me as well. So I've got some things to think about because one of the other options I have is that I don't need to use StreamYard at all. StreamYard is the tool that I'm using to broadcast to all of you, but I could just use Streamlabs directly. I think there's a way where I could actually broadcast to a couple of different places at once. Looks like Twitch and YouTube. Can I? And then I would have to get their Prime subscription or whatever to do more. Well, we'll have to play with this because I think there's a lot of creativity that I want to get into, especially like overlays for when people follow and engage and comment and all sorts of stuff. But I think I may want to broadcast directly through Streamlabs instead of through StreamYard. StreamYard is really good if I just want to share my screen or especially for bringing guests and things in. But I've got some thinking to do here. So that was enough fun experimentation for streaming today. We're gonna come back to that. But now in the meantime, we can do present screen, choose that one. We can focus a little more on getting some code written. So let me get my browser here. We'll go full screen on that also. Developer console is great. Man, I wonder if I can go back to annotation sets and just delete that whole set. I did this during office hours. Created this whole set with like 1,000 tests in it. That's too many. delete that. Okay. So first things first, let's go to our dev environment and let's fire up local debugging. Actually, we should check and make sure that we have the latest. Looks like we do. Okay, so fire up the local debugging. It looks like everything is working. That's great news. You can go away for a while. And now let's get into the developer console. So if we look at our test tab, the last time I was with all of you and we were working on this, we were focused on a couple of new features, and I'll show you what we were working on. We were looking at saving users' answers. So when they would talk to, I got to bring up one more tab here, I guess, to show you. This is probably the easiest way. Airtable. So in here, that we have a table called user. This is where we keep track of our users and know who they are and can persist them and all that kind of stuff. Then we have a table called answer. Answer is going to change, but it is basically a collection of topics. Account linking, Alexa for business, announcements. There's just all sorts of things in here. And this list is meant to be things that developers might ask about. Hey, I want to know more about this, or how do I find out more, like this information, or tell me about this topic, or whatever. Or tell me who this person is, right? They might ask who I am or how to get a hold of me or whatever. This is a way to get access to that information. So I want to keep track of what a user has actually listened to, and so what answers they've already gotten. And so where we left off last week was that if I ask for a specific topic, it adds it to my database so that later, and this is the part that I think we didn't do. So let's say Open Voice Developer, just to get the skill working. Hey, Thomas, welcome. Welcome from Scotland.
Welcome to the Voice Developer. Another thing I can do is play speech cons. Bazinga! Just ask me to say a speech con. What else can I help you with?
Okay, so that's always a reminder that I need to write many more of those welcome messages or what you can do messages, but that comes with time. But we've opened Voice Developer, and then let's find a topic we want. Let's ask about me, because I haven't done that yet. Tell me about Jeff Blankenberg.
I think you asked me about Jeff Blankenberg. Jeff Blankenberg is Alexa's chief technology evangelist. You can find him on Twitter, Twitch, and GitHub as @JeffBlankenberg. Another thing I can do is play speech cons. Bazinga! Just ask me to say a speech con. What else can I help you with?
Okay, so you can see now that it's added this to the list. Switch to screen cam. Oh no, already there. Okay, Goldzula, I'm not following you, but I think we're good, right? In fact, we don't even need me. Let's do this. That's better. So you can see that now it's added this record to my database. So now it knows that I have heard this answer before. It doesn't mean I can't hear it again, but the problem that I'm trying to solve is for when the user comes in. And we'll open my build tab here just so you can see this. And in here, if we look at my interaction model, you can see that I have my answer intent. And in here, my answer intent, I have 4 things. What is the link for this? Give me just say the word, what is, or tell me about. But I'm going to add something new here, which is like, teach me something new. So I'm not actually, I'm adding it here, but that's just for demonstration. What we'll actually do is come into our model down here in code, and where we have answer intent, we'll just add this as a new, that's not what I asked you to do. Nope. Teach me. Okay. So what's interesting about this is that it's basically going to call into my answer intent, but without a slot value. So the first thing I want to see is what happens if I don't have a slot value? What do I do? I come in and I say, okay, let's see if they resolved anything. Well, I'm not going to resolve anything because I didn't even get any slot values. So resolved answer is going to be undefined. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to save their missed answer. So this should only happen. Oh, this is some good notes for us. Okay. To do. If there is no slot values, we should get a random record from the database that they haven't heard before. I think this is where I don't think I've created get random answer yet. See, I have get random sound effect, get random speech. I don't have get random answer yet, so I think that's where that's going to live. Oh, I got a bunch of comments here. Welcome, everybody. Manisha says, we have a podcast on Amazon Music, but I have a hard time calling Alexa to play it on Amazon Music. Well, what's the name of your podcast? Maybe I can try. It looks like saying font size is a little small. I can bump that up a little bit. Hopefully that's bigger now. Okay, so we should get a random record from the database that they haven't heard before. So the first thing that I do is I say they missed an answer. So I'm assuming that spoken answer had a value, but in this case it would not. So one of the things we want to do is make sure if spoken answer unfound, then we want to do that whole thing. And that's fine. That can just be kind of a standalone. It's just a throwaway, like fire this into the database kind of thing. Then we say, hey, I'm so sorry. I didn't have an answer for that. But that, again, so this is all like if there's, this is not equals. It's if it's not undefined. Okay, so now we've got some conditional stuff we got to add here. Okay, so first thing first, we want to do that, and we want to do this. Say, I'll just do all of them because this is really, that's only the only condition I built so far is there was a slot value, but we didn't get the answer that I wanted. Or that they said something that doesn't match any of my answers. But there's the other case, which is they said something that didn't give me a slot value, like teach me something new. And in that case, what I want to do is, well, let's just say var random answer. And we can build this out, but it's not going to work yet. Await data.get random answer. And in here, all we need is handler input because I just need to know who the user is. And then how do I do a normal one? If I say if the resolved answer length was 1, then I'm getting my answer here. What is an answer confirmation? Answer confirmation is, if we look at our speech, you asked me about answer. I think, so okay, so this is going to have to be like, I'm going to have like a random answer. Random voice. Do I have the word random in here anywhere else? Answer apology, answer random. So I should, oh yeah, I do. I picked a random topic for you. Here's a random topic. Here's something I haven't told you about yet. Okay, so answer random is the thing that we're going to use for our speech. Cool. So we need to go get an answer from the database. Again, the answers are this list in my answer table. So we're going to go get them something from this table. We're going to get them something that they've not heard before. And we'll build that into the logic of the get random function. And then we need to get the speech that goes with it. I think we need to do all of this. Gosh, it feels like I'm copying a lot of code here, but I think all of that is really what we're doing. The difference is going to be here to get random answer instead of get regular answer. But literally everything else I'm going to do is the same. I need the answer name I'm going to put that in my answer confirmation. So answer confirmation.replace. And then I'm going to use the voice response for the actual answer. And then up here, I think we already get an action query, and that'll be tacked on the end down here. Okay, so this feels pretty good. I just need to create this get random answer function. And so we're going to choose our get answer function. We're gonna modify this, save as, get random answer .js, and that means we're gonna have to modify something here. Random, copy, paste, and then we'll also need here to do get random answer. Keep it alphabetical, Jeff. Get random answer. Okay, that's gonna be get answer equals require answer. Okay, and then one last time, big measure, right there. Okay, so all of the plumbing is set up. Now we just need to write the function. And so get random answer, the only thing I'm passing in, that's interesting. This is when I wanted a specific answer. What I want this to, so I can take this record ID part out because I don't care about that. I'm not pulling a specific answer. I want a random answer. So it's actually going to pull me back a list of answers. And then the other thing that I want is, I guess I can do this. So if we think about what this really means, let's look at the database. When I look at my answer table, this is the table that I'm calling into. One of the columns that I get here, way out here at the end, is a column called user answer. And this record is not going to give me enough information. I mean, it kind of is. It kind of is. Okay, so let me show you how some of this works. So when I talk to my skill, one of the things that I do is I have a bunch of session data. And in that session data, I have the answers that a user has gotten. And in this case, it happens to be these two values. And these are those records. So this one ends in JQ57. I don't know if that's the one we're looking at. It's not. And the other one is AYVR. That is this one. So what I should be able to do is say, I want a list of records from this table, answer, where none of the values in their user answer array are in this column. Because these will all be unique identifiers. So that should work. It's just going to get complicated because now I'm saying I have a whole bunch of values. I mean, they could potentially have hundreds, right? I mean, there's 90 records in this table. They could have listened to 89 of them. And so I need to look at this in a way. Okay, so we got some thinking to do. We're going to have to dig into the docs on Airtable, but we can do this. Okay. So I know the unique identifiers of answers they've been given before. That's the good news. Do I have a new one? New user answer? No, it's still just the two. So I don't get that filled in until the next time, which is fine. Okay. So in get random answer, I'm going to need a lot of things out of handler input. But primarily, and this is where we go to the docs for Airtable. Let's see if we can just Airtable formula. Formula field reference. This is what I want. This is the best page of their entire documentation, and they have a lot of really good documentation. Okay, so what I want to do, can I do anything with arrays? No. That was what I was afraid of. So what I want to do is a find. Is it a find? Is that what I want to do? Find, search. Man, I'd love to be able to pass it in array, but I don't think I'm going to get that. So my Thomas, yes, I could do that. What I'm trying to do is limit the amount of data I'm pulling back, rather than pulling it all back and then filtering on the code side. I think I can just modify my query to pull back only the records that I need. But yes, I could totally do that. But I think finds an occurrence of string defined. So I could just put a whole bunch of find statements in my query. I don't know what the limitation is of that, but we'll find out. So I have find for locale. So I could take this. I'll just do one for now, like so with a comma. This is very delicate work because you have all the URL encoded strings and stuff here. But what I want to do is find. Well, the column that I want to look in is user answer. I know that. And what I want to do is find this value. So what I need to do is take this like so. Actually, I'm going to cut that out. What I'm going to do is add a new piece here because every one of them will be comma separated. So this should work nicely. And we should be able to do find. So if there's none, then that'll just be empty and we're all good. Okay. So now what I need to do is we're going to have to do a little bit of work. Need to just be formatted properly, please. Thank you. We need to get that array out of the user, and so I want to make sure that I say this. Var find clauses, just for now, just so I have it in existence, and then actually we could do like a. So I have that. Okay, so I haven't lost any of that. Now the first thing that I need to do is get my session attributes. Do I do that here? There, here we go. We could just, if we just do that, then we don't even need to pass in locale. So where we call this, we don't even need, we could just say get random answer, and we just want handler. The only thing we pass in, we don't need locale here because we're going to retrieve that on this side. So we get our session attributes, that comes out of handler input. Then we use a helper function that I have, which is here. So I'm going to get my locale. That's perfect. So locale now exists for way out there at the end. And then I need to do something to generate these find clauses. So we're going to define it first. And then we're going to say, do we do an if? No, we should. Because if it doesn't, yeah, I got to check first. If, no, if session attributes user dot user answer doesn't equal undefined, then there's some amount of values in there. And it'll always be an array. It's generated by the database. All of that seems good and healthy and fine. So I should be able to then just do like a really classic equals 0, I less than this length. The rule is you can only use either, right? Like there's no other value or variable that you can use. And then we're going to say find clauses equals, and we're going to take this string here. Okay, now this is not going to be locale. What this is going to be instead is this. I. And that should generate a bunch of find clauses for me that are comma separated. And I actually need to change this because this isn't going to be doesn't equal. Wow, what is there? They had at one time, here, if I go back to the introduction, do they still have that CodePen? I don't think they still have that. Let's see if it still exists. Airtable CodePen. I think this is the guy. Yeah, okay. So my filter by formula, I want to say find, well, we can just probably paste this in here. Nope, not that. We should be able to say something like this. And we're going to write this in regular, URL encoded stuff. So we're going to say find. That's a quote. Boy, I kind of just want to go back to their docs. Text operators, find. It looks like this. And then logical operators are find. What does find return me? I always forget. Find. The result will be 0. If no occurrence of string defined is found, the result will be 0. Okay, so we go back to our API encoder here. Then we take this, clean this up really nice. What we want to say is find equals 0. Is that what I want to say? Logical operators is equal to 0. Okay, so I should be able to just say equals 0. Because I want to not find any results. If I find a result, which means it would be not 0, if I find a result, then I don't want that record. So I only want records in which I don't find a result, which would be 0. Okay, so that's good. So this becomes some quotation marks. And where to search, this is going to be user answer. And I don't need to provide this. This is an optional value. So it's going to look like that, which actually looks like this then. And you can see those. This is URL encoding all of the nice stuff for me. So we'll take that, we'll bring it back to our code, and we will dump this in here like that. And then I think right here I can just do go away. I'm definitely going to break this. This is definitely going to break. Okay, take this piece here and then slap a 0, not a 0, an I on it, and that should generate all of my stuff. So now I should have a find clause where the value is in quotes. And it equals 0. And then those find clauses get dropped in my URL. And then we're going to, well, we'll run this. And if it doesn't work, then I'm going to have to write out my full path, which will require me to not share my screen because it shows API keys and stuff. That's what these little bits are. And when I see the whole URL, you'll see the API keys, which I'd rather not put on the screen. Okay, so let's go back to all of our logic. This feels pretty good. The answer intent says if spoken answer is not undefined, which means they actually said something that landed in the slot. Great. Else, we're going to, what is this user answer record? Oh, this is the piece that I don't care about. This is just me saving the answer that they just did, which I can't do. I can't do that here because I'm getting the answer. How does that work? Oh, because I have an answer ID, so I can pass that in. I don't know that here. Okay, so let's take that out for a second because that part will not work. And this part will not work. So we can at least get those bits. So what's going to happen this first time that I run this is that it's going to go get me a random answer. I'm going to mark them so there's only one that it can get. That'll help me know that I'm getting one that shouldn't qualify. But then I still need to do right here, save the new random answer as one that they have heard now. So we'll have to do that, which is this. It's this piece here. I just have to get the answer first. Okay, it's good enough for now. Let's just see. I mean, everything's going to break anyway, so let's see how well I can break things. Where's my, there we go. Let's move this up a little bit so we can see what's going on. Let's come over to our developer console. The other thing that we should do is we did this here. Teach me something new. We should save and build. Because we want this teach me something new to work. Now I have this already in my code, so I will do a deploy here at the end just to make sure I have this here. But in my answer intent, I do have teach me something new is there now. Okay. So once this is done building, we will talk to the skill and we'll see what we can get. How's everybody else doing? This feels like I'm making a little bit of good progress. Okay, come on. Quick build is done. Give me the full build done. And then we will go. Are we done? It's still not done. Model built successfully, no conflicts, all good news. So we wanted to also mark our database. So what we're going to do is take all of the record IDs, not that one, all of the record IDs. Yeah, we'll just delete them all. So we're going to keep all but whisper mode. That just happens to be the last one. We're going to delete these two. And we're going to insert new records like this. And then we'll take my user ID and we'll apply it to all of them. So what I'm basically doing here is telling my database, hey, he's heard all the answers except, actually just notice whisper mode is, because, duh, I want to mark this one too. Okay, so in answer now, you can see that I have this huge array of things that my user has heard except for whisper mode. Kevin, the microphone I'm using is the Rode Podcaster. I believe that's the name of it. Do they have the name written out? I don't even think they do. I believe this is the Rode Podcaster. We can actually verify that. Amazon.com. You guys heard of Amazon? They sell stuff. They, if I go to my orders and we look at Rode Procaster, this is the one that I have. It's a very pretty black microphone. You can kind of see it sticking out here. That is the microphone that I have. And it works pretty well. But the catch with this one, the Procaster, is that it comes with XLR cables. And it's a lot more expensive for this extra device to convert the XLR into USB. So that's why I have a soundboard. Blue Yeti microphones are good. I already had a boom arm and a cage for this microphone for an older version. But oh my gosh, here, hold on. I also have this guy sitting here. I don't know how well you can see that, but this is a Blue Yeti. This is a tabletop one. I don't prefer the tabletop ones because I tend to hit my hands on the desk and typing and whatever else, and so this takes a lot of extra noise. But I do really like this microphone. This is a really good one. that's part of my travel kit. So when I take like a podcasting kit or something else on the road with me, I'll take that Yeti one because I don't have a boom mic and all the other stuff. Okay, so good sidebar. Good sidebar. Let's go back to running our test. So we want to say, teach me something new to our skill. Our build has happened. I kind of want to do something basic, like give me a sound effect, because what I want to see is all of the metadata that I'm pulling now.
You asked for laser sound effects. I found 12. There is a limit of 5 sound effects per response, so I picked 5 at random. Here is the sound effect named Sci-Fi Laser Gun Battle 2.
Okay, well,
this is Sci-Fi Laser Gun Fires 3. This one is named Sci-Fi Laser Gun Battle.
good to see the sound effects are still working.
Bazinga! Another thing I can do is
Okay.
play speech cons. Bazinga! Just ask me to say a speech con. What else can I help you with?
Cool. So this is where, if we look at our data now, you can see that I have, this is all my session attributes. And in here, I have my user data. These are the achievements that I have unlocked. So I know which achievements I have. But in addition to that, now I have this user answer array that has all of those values. So I should be able to say, teach me something new, like this. And it should, based on the code we wrote, which will probably break, it should bring back whisper mode because that's the only one out of all of the records in my database. That's the only one I haven't listened to according to the data. So let's see what actually happens.
You asked me about whisper mode.
What?
Undefined. Did you know that you can ask for sound effects? Just say something like,
That
play
totally
a
worked.
laser sound effect.
Okay, so what just happened there is that it found whisper mode. It was able to grab that for me. Now, undefined, I'm guessing this is a lack of data problem. If I look at my data table, yeah, this is just because I don't have anything in here. So for voice response, if you whisper to your device, I can whisper back. And then I can, let's see, what is the SSML? Alexa, SSML, whisper. By the way, guys, that you tuned in for a rare occurrence, which is I wrote a whole bunch of code and it worked on the first go. That doesn't happen. If you've been here before, you know that. But it worked. So let's see if we can find the word whisper. Whisper. There we go. Effect whispered. Okay, so I should now, no, not here, in my database, should be able to say, if you whisper to your device, I can whisper back. And then I can add this and say, it sounds just like I am whispering. Wait. And then we'll do we'll close Amazon effect. Perfect. Okay, so I have a voice response now. Now, the other thing that we didn't do in our table, if we look at user answer, is that we still didn't record this. So if I look at this whisper out here on the right, it still hasn't been marked. And that was the one thing I wrote down. Oh, don't worry, Goldzoo. It's all coming back. I got to take some time to build up to it. Finding time to build out a streaming setup these days has been incredibly challenging. Okay, so whisper mode is still there. So if I say this again, teach me something new, it should bring me back whisper mode again. And this time it'll actually have an answer and it should sound like she's whispering.
I think you asked me about whisper mode. If you whisper to your device, I can whisper back. It sounds just like I am whispering, right? Another thing I can do is play speech cons.
Sweet.
Bazinga.
Sweet, sweet,
Just
sweet.
ask me to say a speech con. What else can I help you with?
Okay, one last little bug I found is that I have in my answer intent, I'm asking for the wrong kind of speech. So not answer confirmation. I want to say answer random. Let's try that and make sure that it works. And then we'll go add the save part. Teach me something new.
I picked a random topic for you. Name. If you whisper to your device, I can whisper back. It sounds just like I am whispering, right? Did you know I can repeat what I just said? Just say, repeat that, to hear anything I say a second time.
Is that the piece that I was missing? Just some little tweaky stuff just to make it sound right. I picked a random topic for you.
Here's something I haven't told you about yet. Whisper mode. If you whisper to your device, I can whisper back. It sounds just like I am whispering, right? Another thing I can do is play speech cons. Bazinga! Just ask me to say a speech con. What else can I help you with?
So the last thing I want to do is actually tweak my answer here, which is, it sounds just like I'm whispering, right? You can also use SSML to make me whisper your own skills. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, last step before I wrap things up here. The whisper does sound better. Is I want to make sure that I save the answer that I'm getting. So all of that is good. I have the code to do this, which is save user answer. And I just need the answer ID and my handler input. And so that's going to go right here. We'll say our user answer record equal await. Okay. So the answer ID if I'm pulling name out of this table as name, then I should be able to say record ID. So this should be answer record ID, and that should just work. Okay. So again, I like being able to use code over and over. Let's see if that actually works. So now, teach me something new. It should still give me whisper mode, but then it should, oh, and then we run into another problem, which is what happens if they've used up all the records? Let's add that to our code before we forget. I think that's gone. So I can say, do we do when they have heard all of the answers? Okay. Let's see if that works. So it should still give me whisper mode, but it should be marked in the database this time.
I picked a random topic for you. Whisper mode. If you whisper to your device, I can whisper
There it
back.
is.
It sounds just like I am whispering, right? You can also use SSML to make whisper in your own skills. What would you like to do next?
I love it. That did what we wanted it to do. So it got me my answer. If I delete something else like slot confirmation, let's just delete this one. Should see if slot confirmation actually has an answer. Slot confirmation does not have an answer, but slot elicitation does. I should have done that one. So let me take this user answer, just hack our database a little bit, and say slot elicitation. Slot elicitation has a thing in the database, so I should be able to do that. And then I should be able to say, teach me something new, and it should just choose slot elicitation this time because that's the only record that's available.
I picked a random topic for you. Slot elicitation. Slot elicitation sends Alexa a command to ask the user for the value of a specific slot. Did you know that you can ask for sound effects? Just say something like, play a laser sound effect.
Now, I want to let you all know, like, I'm not even close to finishing what these answers actually are. So some of them may seem lame or short or whatever. Each of them will come with, at a minimum, a card that gives you a link and some more information. I'm not doing any of that stuff yet. We'll come back and do that. But if there's an APL interface, if there's anything else that I can do, I will try to do those things at the same time. Okay, so let's go back to our table and let's get rid of all the records, because we also want to make sure it works if nothing is in that list. So one more time, teach me something new. And this will just be random. We don't actually know what's going to get because it's
Here's
all
something I haven't
forums.
told you about yet. Developer forums. Undefined. What would you like to try?
And I just don't have an answer for developer forums yet. So cool. So it seems to be working as expected. You can now just say, hey, teach me something new, or give me something I don't know. And it'll just pick one out of the database for you. And we'll continue to evolve and grow that database with more answers and more robust things. So I feel pretty good about this bit of functionality. Now I can take a slot or not take a slot, because I can always say, tell me about Whisper mode, right? And it'll give me this every time.
I think you asked me about whisper mode. If you whisper to your device, I can whisper back. It sounds just like I am whispering, right? You can also use SSML to make whisper in your own skills. What should we do now?
So you can see it added whisper mode to the database, but I can do that anytime. So if I just want to see that answer again or hear it again, there's nothing preventing me from doing that. But when I ask for something randomly, I'm trying to pick something that you've only ever heard, that you've never heard before. And so I'm going to have to work through that condition, because, like, what happens if I don't get any answers back here? I'm not currently catching that. And there will certainly be achievements for hearing answers. I don't think I'm doing any achievement stuff yet. No, but I'll keep track of how many answers you've heard based on this table. So that's one of the other things we can do if we look at user. We have answer count is 2. So this is, again, everything in this table comes through as my session data. I pull this all into the session on each request. So I know all of your data. So I can say, oh, you just asked for an answer. Well, you've listened to 10 answers before, so I should give you an achievement for that. And of course, I probably already have. No, I don't even. I just have you use the answer intent, but I don't have any of the you've listened to 10 or 25 or 50 or whatever. And then we're going to create a leaderboard and all sorts of other cool stuff for this. Because, again, all this data just lives in a database. So now I can build a website that has nice renderings of this stuff. The thing that I don't have, and maybe we'll work on this next time, is I don't know anything about you. So we'll have to do some things with permissions and user data to get your first name, email address, whatever, and figure that stuff out. But for today, I feel like we made some really good progress in an hour. Got it to the point now where it's pulling random answers out of the database and marking them as listened to. Well, let me add that to my list of to-dos. I'll leave that question in there. If there's no slot values, we should get a record from the database. We're now doing that. That one's gone, but we can say, should award achievements for hearing many answers. All right, we'll continue working on a stream setup. That's harder to do while I'm live than I thought it was going to be. So I may have to just play with that on my own time, but we'll continue to see this evolve and grow and be better and better. So thank you guys all for tuning in. It's fun to do this morning. I've got a ton of work I got to get done today. So I will see you guys all again very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.